Hi, this is Andrew with Lamellis. Today's video is going to be about how to add a case in the main case log. So from the home page, I'll click into the main case log here. And then to add a case, I simply go here to choose from my pre-populated templates here. And I can choose any specific template that's already been built for you in OrthoOS. So this will be a trauma case. So I can name it whatever I want. I can call this Monday ORAF, ball bone form fracture with attending to. You could call it anything you want. And then when you start clicking into here on the date tab, I like to put an end date and include the time, because then you can schedule this case in your calendar for the amount of time you expect it to take. And it's kind of interesting to go back and see how long you're taking for cases. So I'm just moving this to Monday. So 7 a.m. start case, 7 a.m. start case. I expect it'll take 90 minutes. So if I do that, then it will populate that block of time into my calendar, which is nice. It says when attending to, specialty is trauma. That's pre-populated for us. And this is where you can be as creative as you want, and you can do this many different ways. That's one of the nice things about the OrthoOS template is you can make this your own. But I'm going to say ORAF bolt bone form fracture. I can put the implants in one of two places, and I'll show you the other place down here below. One of the benefits of putting this into the tags is that if I put it here, then it's very easy to see how many times you're using that implant, and that's how you can pull it from the implant catalog. You can also do it down here, just as the company, if you want to visualize kind of as a pie chart, visualize what companies you're using over time. Just clicking that implant field there allows you to do that. Location, we'll say this is a hospital case. And this is where you want to be able to say, okay, I want to really see how this patient's doing at their 6-week follow-up. So I can just click here as a little reminder myself that about August 7th, be 6-week follow-up. So this will kind of cue me to follow up on the case. All right, so here we can put the CPT codes in. So CPT code for upper treatment bolt bone form fractures 25575. So that could be searchable later. And so if you're using this for the first time and want to start adding your attendings in, all you have to do is just type the name of the attending. So say this is with Dr. Smith, create that tag, and then it's there forever. Similarly, if you have an implant or a tag or a procedure or anything that's not already created for you in the template, you can just type it in here. So say that I want to use a specific reduction technique. Say I want to make a tag for both bone form fractures that we get provisional fixation with a lag screw. I can easily create that tag, and then I can search later for any time I've used that tag in my system. So it's very customizable. Similarly with your location, you can say this is Mercy Hospital or hospital of your choosing, create that tag, and it's in there for you. And that's how you create a case. So once I get down to here, now I can start filling in this information. So many programs will ask that you send a preoperative plan to your attending. This is where you can build all of that right into your case log so you have it forever and can reference back to it. So you can say this is a 43-year-old male who is in an MBC. Okay. So once I've filled out this information here, I can link back to my procedure note for easy, quick reference, where I just type a backslash and then go link to page. And then it'll search from my database here. Start typing in ORF both bone form fracture. Click on the appropriate page. And then there's a link there that I can reference back and forth between these two pages. Next, I put in the patient information, screenshots of the x-rays, and then I'm off and running. So I can start typing out my plan or how I would set this case up. So it'd be supine. So I can enter specific special needs that would be in the posting. So do things like a non-sterile upper arm tourniquet. I can link to the implant from the implant database and put anything I want in the special needs category. So I could type in the specific approaches I want to use here. And if you have procedure pages for these approaches, you can link to them as well, just like you linked to the other things above. And I can start saying how I want to go through the procedure, You can fill that in as granular as you'd like. You could put notes on closure. And if I'm saying, you know what, I don't need to send the closure and dressings for each year's maybe I'm a closure, I can just delete this, no problem. You can delete these fields however you want. You can make this your own. So say I go do the case, come back and have some notes that I want to take on how the case went, things I learned, and say, for example, flag screw on ulna didn't work well. Just take any notes here. Pearl from pending 2. So you can put this all in here, and then you could go and see when you're triggered by your follow-up date here. When you should follow up on the patient, you can go look in their chart and see what their 6-week post-op x-rays are looking like. You can take a screenshot of that and drop that into your follow-up. Say that they're doing well at 6 weeks with some post-operative x-ray, see the healing. And this can be, you can fill this out as much as you'd like. So that's what a standard case where you're planning ahead would look like. The other alternative here, you can see from the templates, this post-hoc note. So oftentimes, you're on the trauma service or you have an add-on case that you haven't had the time the day before or whatnot to prepare for. Post-hoc notes template is a helpful feature. You can fill out the same data like you would on a normal case after the fact. You can drop in preoperative x-rays after the fact. And then it skips kind of all those planning steps because you may be doing this case or thinking about this case or taking notes on this case after the fact. You just go straight to the case notes, and then the post-op follow-up is a more streamlined template that kind of removes some of that fluff if you're not planning ahead. One cool feature of the main case log as you add more and more cases are these different views that are available. And this is customizable. You can add more here. We have different tabs built in for you like follow-up that can sort by the follow-up priority or the estimated time to follow up. That can help you follow up on how your patients are doing. Location, so you can see the different hospitals that or ASCs that you've operated at and how many cases you've done there. You can look by attending, by specialty. You can look how many cases you do month over month. And there's this cool calendar view where you can really scroll through all of your cases in a calendar format. And then this one can be fun too. This is almost like a little social media feed of your cases. It'll pull them in as little templates. As you add pictures here, it's really cool. So if I jump over to my personal Notion here, you can see what this looks like with a more built out case log. So these are my patients to follow up on by date, shows it there and nice and organized for me to be able to go through them and follow up how they're doing. I can see by location, the different centers that I've operated, how many cases I've done there. This one's cool, the different, how many cases I've done with each attending over the course of my residency. By specialty, you can see month to month, how many cases I've done. Calendar view, to look back in time. Fun to see. And then this is where you can be customizable. I'm going into shoulder and elbow, and so I've got different tabs for each different type of kind of shoulder and elbow category. So if I want to see how many shoulder arthroplasty cases I've done, I can pull that tab up. I've tagged this out to where it pulls in all my shoulder arthroplasty cases and pull them all into one place for easy reference. And then the feed here, when you actually have cases, is cool to kind of glance back at what you've been doing. It's almost just like a social media feed where I can go back and see different cases that I've done over time. Just a different way of viewing the data. So to add another view is very easy. You just go to this plus sign here. So I can have it appear any way I want. If I want a pie chart or a graph, you can make this any form you want. So if I want it to appear like this, I just select table and you can name it whatever I want. So in this case, I could call it trauma cases. And within trauma cases, so that I just want this to pull in just my trauma cases, none of the other ones. I could filter it by specialty, click trauma, and now these created. So this is just trauma cases. So I could do the same for any other specialty. I could do the same for tags, specific attending, specific CPT code. The sky's the limit. You can make these views as customized as you want. It's nice to have different ways that you view your data for what you're looking for in that specific instance. And that all stems out of the main case log.